Hey everyone, before we get into the video, I wanted to just remind you to check out my Etsy shop. So etsy.com/shop/TheFortitudeFix is where you can find all of my kits that I have for sale, my physical products for mom and expectant mom, as well as my printables. So I have some printables online as well. Be sure to check out my Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/TheFortitudeFix for all of your organizational and lifestyle needs. All right, let's get into the video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fortitude Fix. I hope you're well. My name is DaShanna, and in today's video, I am bringing to you a Q&A. So if you follow me on Instagram, which you should, I'm gonna go ahead and leave my handle right here. It's at the Fortitude Fix. But recently I asked over there on Instagram for questions related to pregnancy, delivery, postpartum, motherhood in general, baby Nova. So I am here to answer those questions. Thank you all so much for submitting them. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. If you have other questions for me, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I always read them and reply, so I would love to hear from you. Without further ado, let's get into it. I definitely screenshot the questions, so I will be using my phone to pull those up. So the first question I got is it true that cravings occur and that you have to use the restroom more frequently? This has to do with pregnancy, and the answer is yes. I did not have any, like, I guess off the wall or crazy cravings, I guess, but I did want certain things more than others. So for example, I was super into, I still am kind of, double stuffed Oreos. I was super into Takis, just anything with spice or flavor. And then toward the end of my pregnancy, I was super into sweet things. So I went to Rita's a million times. Rita's, if you're not familiar, oh, look it up. So good. Rita's Italian ice. Cravings definitely exist, but for me it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was just more of the things that I already liked. And restroom more frequently, absolutely, especially once you get further along in your pregnancy. Essentially your uterus is growing, right, because you are growing life, and that is pushing against your bladder. So yes, I went to the restroom a lot, especially during that last like month and a half. The next question is, what do you enjoy doing as me time? Honestly, I grew up an only child. I was the only child in my house, and it was just me and my mom, and literally I was a TV kid. Like, I would watch movies on VHS, the same movie over and over. I know a lot of movies by heart. I would watch TV. When I went to my grandma's house, I would watch cable because I didn't have cable at my house. So yeah, I think one of my favorite like things to do is just sit in quiet and like binge watch something, or watch just some trash TV show that I love but my husband doesn't. And I don't get to do that often, but when I do, it's really good. I do watch TV and have TV on in the background a lot of the time, but typically I'm taking care of baby and all of that. But just sitting alone with a good show, laughing, making noise, eating snacks, like, it's great. But yeah, other than that, let's see. As of now, it's really been just getting out of the house. It's been, you know, getting in the car and checking my P.O. box, or going to Starbucks, or getting a car wash or something like that. Going to Target to window shop. Like, literally, that's kind of, these days, that's what really brings me joy, and that's what me time is. I am still exclusively breastfeeding, so typically I will just like plan it out and, you know, run out as soon as I'm done feeding baby. You know, husband will take care of her while I'm gone, and then that gives me at least an hour or two outside of the home. So yeah, that's what I love doing. That's my me time. Okay, new routine for you and hubs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily have a routine. I can tell you what I do like on a daily basis. I wake up, I feed her, burp her, change her, put her back to sleep. I try to get some sleep while she's sleeping. I'm up with her all night. Well, every time she wakes up during the night right now, because husband went back to work. let's see, once we wake up for the day, I am possibly watching another TV show while I'm just keeping her active and playing with her, doing some tummy time. She's beginning to be a little bit more vocal, so we're like blabbing back and forth. I try to get a shower in. Sometimes the only thing I can do is brush my teeth, and to be quite honest, there's been like a day where I forgot. You know, it happens. I'm just keeping it real. But yeah, and then I will, you know, continue with the diaper changes, feeding, breastfeeding, things I will pump. I started pumping once a day now to build up a little bit of a supply, but also we are going to be introducing the bottle here pretty soon to baby girl. Let's see, after that, I may text or talk to a couple of friends. I may find time to edit a video. Then it's, you know, starting the nighttime routine. I'm, you know, making sure that I'm eating, making sure she's eating, taking baths, whatever, getting her to go down again. It's really the same thing over and over, but it's funny because it's like a routine, but it's not a timed routine, so it really is dependent on her. But I am looking into figuring out, now that we're approaching the 2-month mark, like, okay, how can we set more of a standard of like, this is when you're going down, this is when, you know, you're eating and things like that. So right now it's just kind of chaotic and all over the place, but it does follow that same kind of trajectory. How are you? How are you feeling? How are you coping, etc., etc.? So I am doing well. If you watched my like life update video a couple of videos back where I went to Target, at that point, if you had asked me, I think I was still a little bit emotional and things like that, but now I am feeling a lot better. You know, baby girl is sleeping for longer stretches. It's still not all the way through the night, but just longer stretches of time. Instead of every hour or every hour and a half, it's more like every 2 to 3, sometimes 3.5 hours. So I'm excited about that. I am filming a 24 hours with my newborn video, so be on the lookout for that to come on my channel at some point so you can see really what my day is like. That goes to the last question as well. But I am doing a lot better since she's sleeping more. And I don't believe that I've had like postpartum depression, but I do think I had a little bit of baby blues. It comes and goes. Some days are better than others. You know, today, for example, I woke up extremely tired, but good thing for coffee. But yeah, I just, it's ebb and flows with me, and I think I have made it a conscious effort to be more transparent with my husband about how I'm feeling, just so he can kind of be on the lookout if there's something that changes within me or within my personality that he notices before I do, or yeah, just to be open and transparent with him has actually helped. So I've been coping really well with that and just letting him know. I sent him, even before we had Nova, I sent him like a infographic. It was like a picture that said postpartum depression signs, no PPD, and then baby blues. And so it had 3 columns and it had the same question for each, so you could see the answer. So for example, postpartum depression, it was like, you know, the lack of sleep makes me angry and like upset and furious, and baby blues was like lack of sleep makes me emotional, and then no postpartum depression was like lack of sleep just makes me tired. And so like to see the difference between those 3 things was really interesting. So I sent that to him a while ago, and I think he refers to it and I refer to it just to kind of do like a temperature check. So I'm doing pretty good. Today is a good day. It's Friday, and yeah, we're gonna celebrate the weekend here in a little bit and just enjoy each other and watch a movie and hang out. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I could stand to do a little bit more for myself. So whether that's taking a bath, taking a walk every day. There's sometimes I don't go outside for like 2 days, 3 days in a row. So just making it a standard practice. But overall, I'm doing fairly well, and I'm super blessed about that. Thank you so much for asking. Next question is, what are some of the things that you keep by your bedside for nighttime feedings? That is such a good question, and I'm actually thinking about doing like a tour of what it looks like in our bedroom. So we're in her room right now. She's not in her crib. She's actually in a bassinet. So she's in a bassinet right up next to my side of the bed. So I keep, let's see, I keep about 3 diapers literally on the floor next to me. I keep her her skip hop portable changing pad in case I don't know, if there's like a big blowout or something like that. Sometimes I'll just change her on my bed itself, but I also have that changing mat, and then I have her wipes. I also keep three burp cloths within reach, and I do that because when I breastfeed, I put one down on the next thing that I have, which is the my breast friend nursing pillow. So I put a burp cloth down so that if it dribbles down the side of her mouth, like it'll catch on there. And then I have another one for when I sit her up to burp her, because sometimes when you burp baby, they'll just like, bleh, you know, and I wanted to just make sure I keep her clothes clean so I don't have to change her again. So I keep that. And then I have a third one just in case one falls on the floor or I can't find the other one. I'm just like, okay, I'll grab this one. So I keep 3 of those. And I already mentioned my breast friend nursing pillow, and then I keep one of our bed pillows, like a smaller bed pillow to go underneath, because sometimes when I sit up to feed her at night, her weight kind of pushes down, and so I just want her to be lifted up. So I put a pillow underneath that. And I keep my water, so I have my big water bottle, which you all have seen numerous times on this channel. And what else do I keep next to me? I have my phone, obviously, my phone charger. I have my glasses because obviously I can't see and I don't sleep in my contacts. And then I have her Hatch Baby sound machine. It's not right next to me, but it's literally like 2 steps away. So I have that, and it's controlled by an app. So I have her Hatch Baby, and then I have her diaper pail. And yeah, so also on that table, which I'll show you in a video here coming up, I have like a change of clothes, I have a swaddle, some other things for her, like a nose Frida, and just other things that I keep. I don't access them every single night, but I keep them there. So I'll do a whole nother video on that. But yeah, and then her Owlet sock as well, which I don't use as much now. I used it when she was very, very, very little, like a couple of weeks old, and then I know I'll use it again once she starts sleeping in here. But because she's like literally this close to me at night, I can see her and hear her and all of that. So we're all good there. But yeah, I have quite a bit of stuff, I guess, that's next to me, for me as well for her. Postpartum related, what did you find helpful? Did you use everything in your kit? Oh yes, that's another video that I'm filming, is my postpartum kit. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that out. I'll leave it linked right here and in the description box below. But I made a postpartum kit, and yes, I used everything inside of that kit and more. So I will tell you in that video. I'll go over everything that I had and everything that I used, but yes, I used everything in that kit. And honestly, the biggest things that were super helpful were the large size maxi pads, as well as like the upside down peri bottle, because my postpartum journey and healing has been a journey. But not only was I, you know, bleeding, but I also had stitches because I tore. So I had like a 2nd degree tear, maybe 2 of them, I can't really remember. But the upside down peri bottle was helpful because I wasn't allowed to like wipe, so I had to use that to clean and then dab. So that was like I don't know if I could have done this without that. So the upside down peri bottle for sure by Freedom Mom, and then the pads as well as like the larger underwear came in handy, and those kind of like witch hazel pads. So I had the tucks and also the ones from Freedom Mom as well. And the extra things that I needed is really the like smaller pads, and then the panty liners, because you see in so many of these videos like, oh my goodness, you need those big pads, those granny pads, like, but the thing is like, okay, you're not always going to be using those or filling those, so you need to also size down, so like smaller pads, and then when it, you know, it's just necessary to have a panty liner. So those are things that I added to the kit, but yes, I used every single thing in that kit. And what's also been helpful is really just the check-ins and the transparency with my husband. I'm telling him what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing. I remember I passed a really, really big blood clot, and I told him about it, and he saw it, he looked at it, like it was just a thing. Like I wanted to make sure that he knew what was going on with me in case, I don't know, he needed to call on my behalf, like to the doctor, advice nurse or something like that. He knew what was happening at all times. So really just key communication with your partner, all the things that I had in that postpartum kit plus some extras, and really just taking time to think outside of yourself. It gets really hard because you're in the thick of it and you're just like, this is going wrong and this is different and this is hard and this hurts, but also just kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but coming out of yourself even just for a second and checking in on yourself. How are you really doing? Pretend you're having a conversation with your best friend, the one that you don't have to put on airs with, the one that, you know, can see through the BS sometimes, because I do that. I smile, I'm like, everything's great, when it may not be, but I don't want to worry other people and I don't want to get into the whole like conversation maybe at that point. But you know, the person who kind of sees you, like who can see through some of those walls and layers that we've built up, pretend you're that person, or even talk to that person and really be real with them. And I think that was really, really helpful. Colicky baby, do I have a colicky baby? I don't think so. Nova's really, really good, and when she cries, and when she cries really hard, it's always something is wrong. It's just me having to find out what it is. So you know, whether it's her diaper needs to be changed, or she has, you know, congestion, I need to use the nose Frida, or she has gas, I need to use the windy, you know, whatever it is, like something always has to be wrong for her to be like that, and it's just a matter of finding out what it is. And then Wendy, oh my gosh, W-I-N-D-I by Frida Baby, amazing. I'll talk more about that in like my baby must-haves video for sure. And then the last question that I'll answer for today is, how do you deal with baby blues or postpartum depression if you had it? Very, very good question. I mentioned this in my answer to the previous question of like, how are you doing for real? But yeah, I don't think that I've had postpartum depression. You know, my doctor sent that like questionnaire where you have to answer and see like how often you're feeling like this or like that. And I'm not meeting any of the postpartum depression like thresholds, but I do think personally, no one's told me this, but I feel through my research that I might have been dealing with some baby blues, and I think it's gotten better for me, but yeah, some days are better than others, and I think that's directly correlated to how much sleep I get and if she's up more often than normal. And yeah, so I've been doing really good, and I think, again, open communication and just doing things for you, even if it's taking a walk for 10 minutes outside, like I definitely need that. It's amazing. Or catching a nap when she sleeps. I try to do that once a day, but sometimes I don't get to it. But in the very beginning, when she was very, very young, I had to sleep when she slept, because maybe not every single time, but at least once or twice a day when she was very young, because she was up so much at night, and I was overwhelmed and I just couldn't deal, and I was tired, and yeah. So I think that has been something that I've been able to recognize and talk to my husband about and move through. And I think the support of my friends, my mommy friends, and even the ones who don't have kids yet but just have been checking on me and texting me every now and then, like, how are you doing for real, you know, it's really, really important. So if you're watching this and you know someone, you have some mommy friends, check on them. Even just, hey girl, how you doing, you know, hey friend, just checking in, like, it means the world, you know. So yeah. All right, so that's all the questions that I will answer for today. Remember, if you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. Go ahead and check the iCards in the description box for other videos. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. I appreciate and love every single one of you. Thank you so, so much for all of your support and love. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. And as always, remember to fill your cup. Bye.